Hey guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a great day. I'm here with 3 different colors of green. I have hunter green, olive green, and bluegrass green, which is almost like a viridian. And I am going to start this clean journal page and grab my flat brush. I've got a jar of clean water off to the side and I've got my page taped around the edges. So what I'm going to do first is just do a nice green background on this, and what I'm going to do is make some random box shapes for my background, and I'm going to sort of scatter the colors a bit so that I don't have one color sitting next to the other, and we're gonna make that our background. So I'm not really sure what I want to do yet with this, but I want to start with kind of a color family. So those are the greens that I have on hand. And so you can grab whatever you've got, and I'm going to try to kind of alternate my shapes a little bit. So I'll have some kind of smaller, some a little larger, some will be sort of up and down, and some might come from the side. And I'm going to fill in the whole page. I'm just grabbing a little bit of water, just a little dab, so that I can kind of thin out the paint a little bit. It'll make my shapes a little bit easier to paint. Okay, I've got a good coat of my first green down. I went over this box again just to give it a little bit of a more opaque color. So now I'm heading into my second color. This is that bluegrass green, and I'm just gonna cut it in right next to this other shape, and then I can go down and kind of finish it off, and I'm going to take that all the way to this shape here. So my next one, I'm going to cut in right here, just like that. Now it's possible that I might mix these colors just a little bit because I'm not working on dry paint, but since I'm going to layer over this, I'm not that concerned about it. I just want to get as good as I can. So I actually did take out my angle brush right now, and what I'm going to do is put kind of a cluster of rectangles in this area. I think this might be sort of a focal point because right now I'm going to be adding some green green rectangles, and I want to make sure that they're not sitting next to another color that is the same. So for this one, I'm going to that bluegrass green, and the angle brush does work a lot better. So the angle brush has kind of a chisel tip on it, which really helps get into some of those corners. So there's that one there. I'm going to come in right down here and put in the other one. Yeah, this is much easier. I should have grabbed it before. All right, but that's okay. We're just having fun in our journal today, so it doesn't matter. All right, so we got that one. I'm going to get some of that olive green and put that right in here. Hunter green right here. And then last but not least, to get that one last bit of bluegrass green and make one there. All right, I am back with my wonderful glue stick. And I have some collage paper that we made together, and I cut a few strips out, and I think I'm going to add this as a textural element to my boxes. So I cut one strip that fits right here, and so I'm going to glue down just a few pieces, and I'm still a little bit wet, so I'm not going to use my matte medium because I don't want to smear it. So I'm just going to put it down just like so. And so I've got it cut where it meets my tape down here, and I can go over this with matte medium afterward to seal everything in, but for right now I'm just going to glue it down in place where it is. And this is just, I made these with my Posca pen and some gold ink over some old magazine pages. So these are really, really easy to make, and they're pretty fun to play around with. So I'm going to pick kind of an interesting one here, and I think maybe this little piece. And I'm actually going to put it in right here. I need to trim off just a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to set this in right over my paint box right here, because this is where my sort of focal area is going to be. So I'm going to have some additional collage there. And then I'm going to work on filling in some of the other areas. So let me see here. And this has gold ink on it too. It's really, really nice. I think what I might do is put a piece right here. Make sure that fits. Yep, that looks pretty good. Now this is not exact and scientific. I'm just getting as close as I can by eyeballing it. I'd like to have another one going horizontal, and I don't want to put it across here or here. So maybe down here would be good, because I don't want them to meet too much. So let me just get an eyeball measurement of that. And I think that's right where this one will go. All right. I like that. I think that looks really cool. Perfect. I really like this. All right. I think that's enough of the collage for now. Okay, I'm going to add some more to the background, but I'm still a little bit damp. But what I want to do is add a complementary color to this. So I put just a little dab of red out here, and I'm going to grab my small round brush and just put a little tiny bit on it. And I'm going to add some of this color to my collage paper. And so these, and I'm going to kind of follow along with some of my sketching that I did when I created the paper, and I'm going to just add some color to this. Just like that. Not too much, just a hint of color. And then I'm going to add a little bit here to this corner, and here, and to that corner, a little bit here, and just add a little bit of detail where it just pops right out at you. And this is a very abstract journal page, but it's kind of a nice practice if you're working on just getting more comfortable with abstract, finding out how you like colors and shapes that go together. And I always really like sort of geometric type stuff, and I think it's just so interesting to look at, whether or not it has a ton of texture. But I've been working on just matching up colors and just seeing what looks interesting to me, what kind of calls out to me. And it's abstract, and just sort of having fun with color and shapes without really trying to do anything is a great way to learn about what you like. and what you think looks really good together. And I kind of like how this is shaping up here, so I'm going to keep going with it. And I'm going to add a little bit of red to each one. Now I still want to keep that white in there because it adds a nice bit of contrast, and we don't really have any whites on our page, so I'm leaving that, but I am kind of pumping up these collage pieces, and I think that's all I want to add of the red right now. Okay, so next I've got my chalk marker here. I'm just going to give it a little prime and see if I can get this going. I'm going to do a little bit of outlining of these boxes just to sort of reinforce those shapes. Now where it's still wet, I'm going to have to wait a little bit, but I think I like that outline look. All right, I think I got everything, so good. Okay, so I've got my black paint marker here. I'm going to add a few little dot borders on the inside of a couple of these shapes. And I'm going to keep it close to my focal point. I guess I can do all of my olive green shapes. Now I'm going to go back into this marker, and maybe on some of these dark green shapes I can add a few of these white dots. I like this. I think we can call this good. We've got a focal point, we've got some interest, we got our collage down. I'm ready to take off the tape and see how this looks, all uncovered with its border. And I like kind of butting up those collage pieces right next to the edge too. I thought that came out really clean just by sort of cutting the end of it a bit and putting it right where it needed to be. Now, just because you have a focal point doesn't mean it has to be anything in particular. So that's kind of what we're going with here today. Just something very simple and clean looking, very geometric, and a great experiment. So I really hope you enjoyed this video today, and hopefully you try something like this yourself and grab your supplies and get going and just get creative and have some fun. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, keep creating, and thanks for watching. Bye.